She came back for him anyway, wanted to show him how to turn his love around, but what she found was her replacement, her husband's heart and mind. So she rescued her brothers and sisters instead. They walked with her, they talked with her, they fought with her through woods and rivers and crackers and guns, through cellars, through horseshit, through failing convictions, through 1,258 miles, through injured feet and fear. Through unlimited trials, she led them to the home she prepared and told them they were now free, but only if they dared to be. Then she turned around a second time and went back for her parents. So when I get tired of being in these trenches, I recall my ancestral mother, Harriet's Queen Adamita Tubman, and her third and fourth times when she dug these ditches, setting up rescue and reconnaissance missions, covert networks into the true axis of evil, unshackling the ankles and the consciousness of her people. And when I get discouraged by the ignorance, the hatred parading as innocence, the racist ideologies which exist and persist, I recall her fifth and sixth times when she showed who had the mastermind, for masses' mind could never fathom her plans for travel, nor her methods of escape. And when I break in my commitment and start acting like I don't know why I was sent, I recall how her 7th, 8th, and 9th times was spent trying to convince the prison psyches they were capable of releasing their chains. She said she could have freed thousands more if only we were slaves. That's why when I'm scolded by the scared, or with chumps so weak they hump their backs when I speak, start shushing me, looking over their shoulders for the police, I pay homage to her 10th, 11th, and 12th times. When snitches and slave catchers both bit her bullet, made a $40,000 bounty her old card, and still couldn't pull it. Not even during her 13th time when they swore they found her weakness. But since her commitment was only to God in the struggle, her weakness didn't exist, it was only a myth. And for every occasion, when I've been patient with children, I bring to mind her 14th, 15th, and 16th times when she served as a constant reminder of the motherhood of God, a relentless fighter, her entire being involved, bending off starvation and dogs with her bare hands, determined that even if she had to fall, our children could still stand. For those infrequent days, I'm just feeling late. Thoughts of her 17th and 18th journeys bombard me because I know that we who believe in freedom, we cannot rest. Our people are entitled to our best, to offer less detrimental. We demean ourselves, our past, and our potential. And for those of us who think the revolution is in our words, but we're just wrong. Most of us don't even have 19 well-crafted poems. We honor not our peers, our elders, nor our ancestors in the craft, spitting like we got a masterpiece when it's just a rough first draft. So when I suppose sometimes that I'll stop writing, thoughts of her 19th journey, they hit me like lightning, because I know I was born to convince y'all. If we can't be serious